Alright everyone, so today I'm gonna be building well, this is not the main element of the stream, because I will be playing after, but I've been criticizing Jun for a while now, because I think that the way people build a deck is somewhat laughable. So I thought, well, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and I'll be trying to build Jund like I think people should. And notably, I'm not gonna be including the Valky package. Not that I don't think it's good. Just I don't know how much I like it without a Jund Triumph. Which is quite funny because I've heard Jund players say that the Jund Triumph wouldn't play. Those people are fucking morons. So okay, let's jump right into it. I think that the best way to do this is look at Decklist first, and let's see what Jund is doing these days. Besides not doing well, Jund, here it is. All right. Okay, so Jesus, this list is so bad. Huntmaster in the main board. I actually kind of like the reduced Liliana numbers. People, if you know me, you know I hate Liliana as a card. I just don't think it's that good. I think that it generates minimum value, and even right now when the downtick can be relevant against all those trickery shitty combos, I still don't think the card is good to be playing. Like maybe 5 years ago the card was good, maybe 3 years ago the card was playable. Right now, yeah, miss me with that shit. What else? Up to 3 Seasoned Pyromancers. So the people are catching on that this is a really good card. That's cool. Kroxa. I'm a bit divided on Kroxa, but I think that 1 or 2 should probably earn a spot. Just because of their grind potential. But playing this on turn 2, playing the front face of this is just awful. I really don't get why they made this card like lets your opponent choose a mode and then Uro just does it all. Seems like really moronic design, but whatever. Then the spell suit, I guess it's fine. I mean, 2 fatal push seems really low, especially in the meta where killing creatures is kind of relevant. Jesus Christ, Gen players are really bad at deck building, like, not gonna lie. Ah, this person's playing Surgical. See, this person's smart. Alright. This list here probably looks better. I know this is a good player. So it has 2 Liliana. Okay, I think the Lurz is a cute alternative to the traditional Jund. I'm not gonna build a Lurz Jund though. You can build it as a main board card with some extra value from your permanents, or you can build it as a side piece. But I want to focus on what I want to make a good version of Jund that keeps most of the classic Jund elements. So not a Lurz build and not a Valky build. And when I say Valky build, I don't mean the shitty turn 1 Valky that people are trying to push. That's dog shit, but I want like a proper Jund. Okay, so let's maybe look at things like this. Because here's the problem with Jund. Here's the problem with the Jund community that I don't think they understand this. Oops. They seem to think that their deck is supposed to go to top deck mode and then outvalue your opponent. But that plan doesn't work because half your deck is disruption. So if your opponent is drawing relevant cards that have an immediate impact and you're drawing shitty disruption like Thoughtseize, Inquisition in the late game. What else does this deck play? Like, I don't know. If you're drawing a Bauble late game, you're super screwed, but going to a more traditional version. Like Ren and Liliana are just bad. So yeah, I do think that you can build Jund with a little bit more just better overall. Okay, so first things first, Jund is supposed to be a deck where you start with a strong disruptive play. And what is a strong disruptive play? It's, by the way, these numbers are not final. I'm just, putting cards in. Then the number balance is something that you do after. So doing strong disruptive plays, which means push, means Thoughtseize. Where's Thoughteize? I'll put that later. It also means Inquisition. Thoughtseize is Theros. And it means Bolt. Again, these numbers aren't final, so just organizing the cards. Make this smaller, probably. Yeah. Alright, so you have a strong discard package, which allows your turn 2 threats to actually stick. And you have a strong removal package, which allows you to curve into a superior board. So killing off your opponent's turn 1 creature or even turn 2 creature if their turn 1 creature isn't a priority target, and then you curve into a threat that hopefully is better than theirs. And now, what 2-mana threats are there? That's always the big question. So I could meme and say Tarmogoyf is bad, and I do think that Tarmogoyf isn't as great as it used to be. Probably, I don't know. I've never really played with Tarmogoyf in the long ago when Jund was actually good. But the card can grow to decent sizes. However, okay, so let's think about Tarmogoyf. Probably won't be playing Planeswalkers, maybe 1 or 2 Ren and 6, but that's about it. Not playing artifacts. Maybe I am playing artifacts in the main board. Yeah, Nihil Spellbomb looks like a good card to be running in the main board. And then no enchantments either. Like, there aren't any good enchantment creatures to be running here, right? Still, Tarmogoyf can be like a 2-mana 4/5 quite easily with land, sorcery, instant, and creature. Yeah, 2-mana 4/5. Those are decent stats if you're just trying to maintain a decent board. The fact that it's hard to remove with Lightning Bolt makes it pretty cool. So yeah, I do think that Tarmogoyf has a slot here. Now, I also think that you shouldn't be playing only Tarmogoyf as your 2-drop. Jund wins games curving into threats, not curving into control. So yeah, let's look at what 2-mana creatures we have. I know which ones we have. One of them I don't have any copies, so let's just do like this. Type wizard. And look at recent-ish cards. We have to look at red, I think. Oh, so many wizards recently. Okay, so here are my two suggestions. Dread or Arcanist from any of these turn 1 plays is really good. Like, you seize your opponent's removal, you play Arcanist, and now next turn you're threatening another seize. And that's really strong. Like, you're basically manipulating their hand in a way that they'll have a hard time catching up. Or Channeler, because Channeler grinds really well. It also grows to a decent size, somewhat fast, not as fast as we'd like if we're trying to go up on threats, but it attacks for 4, somewhat fast. Arcanist also, like, flashing back bolts is really strong, and fatal pushes to keep the board clear. So I'm gonna say let's try and do Arcanist. No, that's not it. Let's try and do Arcanist here. I think that in the disruptive plan it's just better. Alright, so those are our 2 drops. Now for 3 drops. So I think that any red deck right now that wants to maybe grind should be playing 4 Seasoned Pyromancer. It's not really a question of if, or it's not really a question, simply. It's simple as that. This card's really good, especially in mid-range shells. I'm just making a mistake by not playing this card, to be honest. Seasoned Pyromancer not only makes a bunch of bodies, so it's a decent threat, but it also lets you cycle your bad cards. And yes, you're a mid-range deck, you'll have bad cards every game. Even post-board, you board in a bunch of cards and you keep hands that might not hit everything your opponent's trying to do, or your cards might not be the best for that situation. So having this cycle, which cycle your useless cards for lands, is really fucking strong. And John players have been learning. They're up to 3. Only 1's missing. And then I also think that Bone Crusher Giant is just that strong. Again, these numbers aren't final. I'm just putting cards in that I think that are good. And we'll worry about numbers in a bit. But here we have 16 threats. One of which is just a big threat. One is just a value engine, that's a priority target. Another one is another one is a good Seasoned Pyromancer is a very good grindy card. And Bone Crusher Giant just has tons of value. Like, the card curves onto itself, which is really strong. And having a 4/3 to deal, if you go Thoughtseize, Stomp into Bone Crusher, you're in a very strong position. And I think that people shouldn't sleep on Bone Crusher. I know they aren't. I know that Owash Red plays all 4 and never really wants to replace them. I know that, what's the other deck that plays all of them? Ponza. Ponza also used to play all of them. And this card's really good. Notably, Ponza played this, even though it's a 2-drop in its spell side, which isn't really into Ponza's plan. Alright, now I'm gonna include Bloodbraid Elf here because I think the card is decent. We'll see. Cascading into any of our 3-drops is really strong. It puts a lot of power on the table. Cascading into one of our 2-drops is also quite strong. But cascading into most of our 1-drops is pretty bad. So even though I'm probably cutting some of these 1-drops, I do think that Bloodbraid Elf starts to look not as great here. Okay, so now what cards do we kind of want to run in the main board? So, and here is where mid-range players basically die to their own stupidity. Mid-range is an archetype that requires you to constantly be changing your flex slots to adapt to the meta. And I think that when Jund players keep refusing to do that, maybe not only Jund players, but today we're flaming Jund players, so let's keep it simple. I think that Jund players refuse to fix their flex slots for some fucking reason. I really don't understand why. Seriously, like, let's open a deck list. I think that Liliana is a flex slot, and there are metas where it isn't good, such as right now. I think that probably Kroxa isn't very good in some metas. I'm kind of tempted to say that this is one of those metas because there's a lot of value graveyard hate. Like, you're never catching anyone off guard with this. But maybe the only other real graveyard card, well, also running Arcanist, Goyf, and Seasoned Pyromancer makes it so Kroxa isn't as great in my opinion, because you want Kroxa to go long, and cards like these 8 3-drops are already going super long, and Kroxa just seems less reliable. It's probably a bad Bloodbraid Elf hit. It's a good Seasoned Pyromancer discard, that's true. So maybe I'll include. If we have space for them, we'll include them. There are some universal threats. Some universal answers that we want. I think that you always want to play one Assassin's Trophy, because the card really does answer all. And again, the idea that you're going 1-for-1 is not correct. Your objective as Jund is disrupting the opponent first and then applying pressure. So preferably through a strong 1-drop slot, then curving into 2 and strong 3-drops, and then maintaining your board superiority with the other 1-drops that you still have, and cards like Assassin's Trophy. Like, you don't care about giving them a land if you have too many shit for them to deal with. And Jund players keep sleeping on Assassin's Trophy. Like, this is not Ponza. Like, I wouldn't advise any Ponza players to play Assassin's Trophy if they're splashing black for some reason. I wouldn't advise them to play Assassin's Trophy because they really want their Blood Moons to be good, and playing Assassin's Trophy into anything Blood Moon is just bad. But I think you let's put 2 here. Let's reserve our right to include some later on. What else? Abrupt Decay is also a pretty good answer. Again, just including some numbers. Just because you need answers, again, to maintain board state, to maintain your board state superiority. You need your drops to be attacking. Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, Kolaghan's Command's a good one of. I think that this answering. I'm gonna put 2 in because again, we'll balance numbers later. But these are the flex slots basically. No. Kolaghan's Command is a really good. It's a really good main board artifact hate card because it does a lot of other things. What else do we have? Maelstrom Pulse. Is this relevant? What cards are you killing with Maelstrom Pulse? Maybe you're untapping and wiping. Maybe you're in. I guess that playing Jund is inherently bad against Field of the Dead. If you have a stronger curve of threats, maybe you can raise them. I'm not super high on Maelstrom Pulse, but you can probably play one. I also want Soul Guide. The reason you should play Soul Guide Lantern here instead of Nihil Spellbomb, because Nihil Spellbomb is almost strictly better. But as far as I know, let me check. Your Graveyard Hate needs to beat Oops All spells. Like your main board Graveyard Hate. Hey Ian, how's it going? We're just building Jun for now. I'm gonna play Zoo after, if you want to stick around. I'm just having some fun here. I think that your main board Graveyard Hate kinda has to beat Oops All spells. Even though you already have Discard. I've convinced myself. Nihil is just better for Jund. And I think that another card that people sleep on, like this card's really good. Because it hits different than Spellbomb. It does different things. But the fact that it has Escape means that you can use it to keep the game rolling in very specific cases. Is there anything else that we want from here? I include Ren here. I do. I'm not a big Ren fan. I think that people stick Ren into a lot of decks that shouldn't be playing Ren 6. Like Ren 6 is an okay card that gets better in Control, because Control needs to hit there. It doesn't mean board. Yeah, but this one doesn't, because it only exiles the other side. I mean, it can get awkward if they have things that you want, but there's an heuristic in deck building that I think it's totally wrong, which is people avoid anti-synergy in their decks, which is a good thing, but sometimes anti-synergy is needed. Like for example, let's say you're playing against Uro and you have some graveyard synergies. You don't care about your own cute graveyard synergies if they have Uro. Like imagine I'm playing Lura's Burn and I'm retarded and I'm still playing Rest in Peace. I will bring in Rest in Peace after boarding, because I don't give a shit about my Lures getting nerfed if I'm nerfing their Uro, because Uro beats Lures. So here's the same thing. If you want to play a card that's kind of anti-synergistic, but it beats other stuff that screws you, then you should play those cards. And that's a thing that a lot of players don't do, to be honest. You see a lot of people going like, oh no, I'm not gonna play this because I played this other card and they don't really interact well. And I'm like, bitch, just play the card, get into a better position because the card isn't as good against you as it is against your opponent, and just kill them, please. Alright, so I think this is a good core for the main board. I think that these spells are all core. I think that all of these should be considered core. Maybe not numbers wise, but card wise, and then these are the flex slots. Now to balance these numbers out, you kind of need to look at the meta. And again, mid-range, yeah, because if you've ever played against Arcanist, you know that going C's into Arcanist is really strong, because if your opponent doesn't find an answer, supposedly their second answer, because you took one with C's, then that Arcanist is immediately gonna get value with the second C's and just keep disrupting your opponent's hand, and then any of your 1-drops just becomes that much more powerful. Like you can go turn 1 C's, turn 2 Arcanist, turn 3 Goyf Bolt attack with Arcanist, recast Bolt, and that's like 7 damage right there. And again, you're mid-range, you're not control, you're not trying to go to turn 10 and maybe start getting an advantage there. You wanna very quickly go from being disruptive to being aggressive. That's why Eldrazi is a shit of a deck that is. Like, sometimes it's really strong because they go turn 1 sleep, turn 2 chalice, and then the opponent's kind of locked out of some of their spells. And then they go turn 3 Thought-Knot Seer, which is also disruptive, and then they go that seems like Tybalt's slot. The problem with Tybalt is that the front half is soft to Renin 6 and Lava Dart. And the problem with, like, the only matchup where Valky seems like a good card to be playing, like, if I'm gonna be honest, is against Uro. And Valky also seems the card that you want to side out against Uro. Again, I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I'll say it again. If Jun gets a Triumph, which they should somewhere in time, Valky gets a lot better, because Witch's Cottage gets a lot better. So you play your 2-drop, gets killed, whatever, when you reach turn 4, you can just go land into Bloodbraid Elf and just beat them. Hence why I'm not including here. I'm not making a Valky version, the same way I'm not making a Lurrus version. But yeah, absolutely. If you want to play Valky, you play it here instead of Arcanist. That's just true. You swap a 2-drop for a 2-drop. Valky's also a bit more aggressive in terms of stats, even though I prefer Arcanist because of the recast value. Yeah, this is my take on Jund. I think that people are absolutely underplaying Arcanist. The card's really strong. And the reason I'm not playing Channeler here, by the way, is because I'm playing a lot of creatures. I think that Pyromancer and Bone Crusher are absolutely needed. And Bone Crusher doesn't count towards Magmatic Channeler, which I have found awkward in playing Mono Red. Yeah, Channeler is a good idea, but I don't think that this deck can support it properly. But yeah, I'll say that Arcanist is a nice card to be playing, but maybe not the most ideal one. If I'm swapping out Arcanist, it's either for Valky in a Valky build, or for a Channeler, basically. That's what I'm trying to say, but in a very autistic way. I think that playing all of them is just way too greedy. You could also split them, like 2 Arcanist, 2 Channeler, and each does their own thing. We'll leave it like this for consideration. Alright, now let's look at the metagame. I know that Goldfish is as accurate at representing the metagame as Tybalt's Trickery is at casting good spells. But let's look at how things are doing. Let's reduce the number of days here. Alright, so lots of creature decks. See Prowess, Hammer Time, Spirits. This is such a bad representation of the meta, but whatever. So we see a lot of creature decks, so immediately I want to keep 4 Fatal Push. How can I do this? How can I do this? Just slide them to the side, I guess. So immediately I want to keep 4 Fatal Push and 4 Lightning Bolt. Like, it seems too hard to cut any of these when you have to play against shit like this. Like, against Prowess, the reason I don't like to play Prowess is because the deck just shits itself when you kill their creatures. Same for Hammer Time, to be honest. Like, I've seen some Hammer Time gameplay, And the deck just doesn't run if you keep killing their creatures. You have to kill them in a smart way, so if you have bolts, you have to play chicken against them, which can sometimes be hard if they have double hammer. But yeah, that's how you play. That's how you play against hammer. You can play into them, saving their creature with the hammer. That's just loose play, and you kind of should lose if you do that. Spirits too, mostly 3 drops, up to 3 drops, so like very small butts, right? Yeah, okay. Because they're playing Collected Company, that's fine. That and taxes, same thing. Lots of removal, humans, even against Shadow, you kind of want all your pushes ready to go. So yeah. And then, in terms of extra removal, I think that you want at least 1 Assassin's Trophy in the main board. It solves pretty much everything that you can solve. Also an Abrupt Decay. I think you want 1 of each. I think you can safely play 1 of each. So this is our removal. Yeah, this sounds good. Then what else? Or discard spells. I know there's a lot of combo in the meta right now, which means that you do have to play pretty much all of these. I'm assuming you can cut like maybe a copy of Thoughtseize, because you kind of don't want to double seize most games. You just want that first one to really hit hard. You have if you're playing Arcanist, then seize, like multiple seizes, get really rough on your life total. It sounds good. So 17 slots dedicated to removal or to disruption, I guess. Between Cling and Spellbomb, I'm kind of tempted to run Cling, to be honest. Like nuking graveyards. Nuking graveyards is kind of cute, but I don't think it's really needed right now. Sorry, I don't think it's really needed right now. Like, what decks do you need to nuke their graveyard against? It's basically just Oops, right? And the plan here against Oops is that you can disrupt their combo game 1 with your discard and then beat them with your fast clock. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll take the L if I'm not choosing the correct. I could also split them, to be honest. You kind of don't want to hit your second Cling ever. And Dredge. Dredge just isn't popular in Magic Online. Like 1%. And that's because sometimes dudes play them in challenges. We can play 1 of each. That sounds somewhat correct. I need some water. Alright. Does Lotus Storm use the graveyard? Kinda. But again, like, Lotus Storm is not a deck that you should be metagaming against. It's what I said earlier. A mid-range deck like this has a very small core. So Jun's core should be 1-drop disruption into 2 and 3-drop threats. What that means is that all of this shit, so all of these singles that I'm putting in, are very cuttable in some other meta. Again, the core of the deck is push, bolt, Thoughtseize, and Inquisition to make sure you have a better board early on, and then just strong threats. Just strong threats. Like Tarmogoyf off of pushing their creature. If you use the fetch on turn 1, it's a really good turn. Seize into Arcanist is pretty good. Even Bolt killing their creature into Arcanist is pretty decent. So yeah, and then your 3-drops are just value engines with Bonecrusher Giant acting as both removal and a threat, and then Seasoned Pyromancer just doing Seasoned Pyromancer things. I think I'm cutting these. Not gonna lie, I'm kinda high on Arcanist here, but geez, I have such a big cough. I'm kinda high on Arcanist, to be honest, but Channeler is also really good. What's Channeler's text? How likely is to get 4 of these in the yard? Like, mathematically, we should always have like 2 or 3. I still think that but then again, Arcanist not being able to flashback these and exiling Cling to Dust. All right, I'll concede that Arcanist not at its best right now. All right, so what else? We're at 45 cards. How many lands does June typically play? Yeah, Bob's unplayable. Bob was always, in my opinion, Bob was always sketchy at best. But with Lava Dart and again Ren and 6, because games where you want Bob are games where, again, Bob is very good curved from this card, taking away their removal. But when their removal can be flashed back, then Bob isn't as great. And like the meta is either super aggressive or super controlling with Ren and 6. So you kind of don't have space to run Bob. Like, whenever I play against John and they go like, oh, turn 2 Bob, I say, cool, I'm not gonna kill it. Because that Bob, sure, it draws them cards, but I'm never really worried about having more resources than my giant opponent. I just want them to die. If I am worried about resources, that Bob is very easy to kill. Hence why I'm also not saying, oh, I'm going to build Valky, because I think Valky is better. I think Valky, it has builds where it can be good. Personally, I don't think they're that good. All the meme turn 1 Tybalt plays just sound way too crappy for me. But I say that, but in my burn list today, not today because I'm playing Landfall, so I guess we can show that board. I am respecting the cascade, but again, respecting the meta. Like, gaming the meta is something important. Aggro does it with the side. Control does it with every card. And midrange does it with its flex slots. So, fuck, this reorganized all my things. These and these are on the chopping board. And also these. Okay. I think we can cut 1 Bloodbraid Elf. It's not that great of a hit. Oh, I was wondering about the lands. 24 lands. 24 lands. I guess that's correct, right? So we need 6 slots. Oh, that's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough. I'm cutting the third Bloodbraid Elf. Again, Bloodbraid Elf is a good curve topper, but if you have bad hits, then it's not as great. Like Ponza plays Bloodbraid Elf, but they only really have like 8 bad hits, and by the time you are playing those bad, like by the time you're playing Bloodbraid Elf, some of those bad hits are already on the battlefield. Here we have 17, then from here we have 19, and probably from our one Kolaghan's command we have 20 bad hits. Well, Bolt isn't a bad hit, but everything else pretty much is. And when I say bad hit, I don't mean like a garbage hit all the time, but I do mean that your plan should never really be, I'm gonna play this Bloodbraid Elf and hopefully I can get a hit that I like. It should be, I'm gonna play the card that I like. So instead of cutting answers, I think that cutting Bloodbraid Elf is reasonable. I think that Bonecrusher Giant is an absolute value engine. But I do think that right now, again, John needs to game against the meta, and against these decks, I think that Bonecrusher's not as great, because you can't do it turn 1. What else? Is there anything else we can cut? Is there anything else we can cut? I'd honestly be fine with cutting just Bloodbraid Elf altogether. Because I think that cutting Seasoned Pyromancer or Bonecrusher is just wrong. So you do this, and you get to lower your curve to play 23 lands now. This list looks cool for the current meta. And again, I'm gonna highlight. You can show this to your Jund friends, and they'll call me a retard, but that doesn't matter. I'm gonna put 2 as the core, but this should be the core of Jund. Strong removal and disruption into strong threats. Everything else is just, your curve is now low enough to be on 22 lands. If it is, I would add the 4th Bonecrusher Giant, or like the 2nd copy of any one of these spells. I think that's fine. I'll do 23. I'll do 23. Okay, now the mana base. I have to say that I'm not the most proficient player at making mana bases that don't play all red sources. Like, play a fuck ton of fetch lands because you're a 3-color deck. That's how you build mana bases, right? You just go here, and this is mostly, there's a lot of red. So I'd say you need to play the 8 red fetch lands that fetch the other colors. So what's that? Where are my fetch lands? Where are my fetch lands? I have so much trouble finding my fetch lands. I'm an idiot. Yeah, they're here. Okay, so I think you need to play the red ones because you do have a lot of red now, which I think is kind of funny. But red, like the last 2 years, red has really received a lot of mid-range cards. I think it's just good practice to have like Again, let's slowly build up the mana base. Like 2 shocks of each should be good practice. And then only have single pips to pay for colors. So I guess you can alleviate the basic count. So 16 lands, we still have quite a bit of space. I think that with this build, I think we need the Overgrown Tombs, to be honest. I wouldn't feel comfortable with, not the Overgrown Tombs, Burning Catacomb. I think that it's reasonable to say that we need all of them. So many versions. Let's use the OG one. Yeah, that should be about it. That should be about it. And then peatland. And with an early curve, you don't really want to. I'm gonna put 4 because I'm gonna do some math now. All right. So how are we doing this? This 24 lands, so we need to get 1 or 2. I think you don't want that many peatlands. You kind of just want to cycle 1. You know, with Ren and 6, you don't want to go super ham on them. So I think 2 is a good number. Then the shock lands. You have some black, some green. I think that you're fine cutting 1 Overgrown Tomb. You're fine cutting 1 Overgrown Tomb. And if I'm gonna be really honest, I like playing the second basic of each. Sometimes you kind of need to get that smooth Blood Moon experience. So this is a Jund that I would play. This is a Jund that I would consider playing. Let's review it really quick. You have your mana base, which, okay, I'll take the loss if someone says, oh, the mana base should include this over that. Yeah, this mana base, like every land deals damage to you, which is a real problem. I guess I could see like cutting 3 fetch lands. I have 12. I can see going down to 9. And I think they all need to fetch green. Okay, I think the 4 verdants are needed. I could do this and play some fast lands here. I'd even cut a peatland because I think that's just pushing it. And then play the fast land that actually enables your early turns. I guess that's reasonable. I guess that's very reasonable. Like 3 fast lands, so you can more comfortably open with your early cards. Okay. Then you have your removal, which is 4 Fatal Push, and just, again, maybe there's a world you have a lot more red than Classic Gen 2, because red has good cards. Like, I notably cut, what's it called, Bloodbraid Elf, because Jun has, like, if you're cutting Liliana, which is a shit card right now, and if you're cutting, that's about it, right? You cut Liliana, then suddenly you really don't want to be cascading into anything else. Like cascading into Seasoned Pyromancer is bad. Well, it's not bad. Obviously, if you're top decking, it's good, but again, your plan is not to top deck. So cascading into Seasoned Pyromancer can screw your hand. Cascading into Bone Crusher, it's probably our best case scenario, but that's one of the most cuttable cards here. Like, it's reasonable. There are metas you're going to be going down to 2 copies. Cascading into an answer is just bad. And yeah. So we have Lightning Bolt as an answer, removal, decay. Oh, more red in the mana base. Like, to be fair, we have 5 sources that don't tap for red, which I think in a 23 mana base is reasonable. I think that's reasonable, no? One basic, maybe I want one basic mountain. Maybe I want one basic mountain. And I want one basic mountain over a swamp, and I'm gonna explain why. If people destroy, if people destroy your swamp, I'm thinking like worst case scenario, people destroy your swamp. I don't know. I have a lot of, yeah. I have a lot of black, so maybe I need to cut the forest. Because like Field of Ruin and Path are still things, and I might need to fetch the red. That's pretty reasonable, not gonna lie. That is pretty reasonable. Where is it? Alright, let me just put in a more comfortable position. Alright. So what do I want here? This is how I want things. Alright. These are our answers. K command's also an answer. Spell Bomb, Cling to Dust. Now we have our disruption. Probably include this in disruption, to be honest. And then we have our threats. We have our threats, which include 4 Tarmogoyfs. Looks so much better than what Jund players are trying. Yeah, I think so too. I think that shit like this, and like a lot of Rans, and like this, like Bloodbraid Alpha accomplishes so little in this deck. Again, I'll keep saying this because I'm not sure if any Jund player will ever see this, but a lot of these are cuttable, a lot of these numbers are adjustable, and that's supposed to happen. It really triggers me when Jund players say, oh fuck, we need to adjust our number, like our deck is so bad in the current meta, they really screwed up by printing a lot of strong cards. No, you're just an idiot, and you need to realize that playing mid-range means you need to adjust your numbers frequently, very frequently. Like all the little changes that I do to sideboards in my burn list whenever a new meta arrives is because aggro needs to do some work in their sideboard to adapt to the meta. What is up with that? I'm sorry. This is the best Goyf art. Those are just facts. Where's Tarmogoyf? Let's look at Tarmogoyf arts. Yeah, but I think that mid-range really needs to... Rather, mid-range players need to grow up and realize they need to adapt their deck more often, like more aggressively. Like I find it really funny. I couldn't write this shit up. I saw a guy in the Jun Discord saying, well, maybe Liliana isn't great. Maybe we should cut it. And I was like, oh my god. It's like watching a monkey with a typewriter finally writing Shakespeare. And then all the other monkeys threw shit at him saying, no, no, no. We'll never cut out Liliana. No, no, Liliana is too good. Liliana is such a great threat. I actually read that phrase and it kind of triggered me. Liliana, a threat? Bro, what are you smoking? Seriously. Just so triggering. And I was actually having a conversation about this with some friends today about how new players, which people like to call Zoomers, they are really good at deck building because they don't have these old ideas that cards are good and cards are a must play. Namely, I think that a lot of newer players, like young players, are absolutely destroying Vintage and Legacy because those formats have a lot of ideas that are just not good right now, but people hate to abandon their old pet cards. Like Jun players. Yeah, I know. She's a hottie. Put her in a binder. You can still dream about her, but put her in a binder, please. Most of them are at the point of development. Facts, bro, facts. Alright, so... What's the best Tarmogoyf art? I think that... The Infinite... It's not called Infinite Masters, is it? Ultimate Masters. I think this one's pretty cool. I think this one's okay at best. I don't know. Like, I really think this is kind of bland, and the original is just a mess. Like, but I don't know. Original cards have a lot of value to me for some reason. You can call it what you can call me an idiot, but I really like original printings. But if I'm gonna be real, I got these because these were the cheaper. And I actually bought Goyfs on Magic Online because they were super cheap, and I thought, well, this card is kind of okay. I guess I'll grab a couple. Look, they're better art-wise, but they're not original. Yeah, that's true. What's the original meant to be? It took me a really long time to see a creature here. I'm not gonna lie. I can barely even see it now. Like Scourge of the Skyclaves. Is that the only playable Scourge, right? Yeah, I don't get these. Like, what's this? What are these? It's just weird. Yeah, I agree. If I were a Jun player, I'd buy... Okay. Totally real, I'd buy original Goyfs. But if I wanted to pimp my deck, I'd probably buy Ultimate Masters foil. Or non-foil if you don't like playing with Pringles. Yeah. Okay, back to Jund. So, as I was saying... This fucking thing just reorganized my entire point. So these are your answers. Your disruption. That's a lie. This is your disruption package. Organize this properly. Yeah. And in disruption, that's about it. And in answers, we also have these. And then in threats, we have our threats with 3 drops that just grind out the game. And then I'm not really big on Ren and 6, but I'm including Ren and 6 here because I do think that Ren and 6 is good. I do think that Ren and 6 is decent, especially in a 3-color deck. That if you can slowly fix your mana, you're fine. Also, the -1 on Ren and 6 is quite valuable here, because Ren and Bolt do things, and Ren and Bone Crusher also do things. So yeah, I like this. Now the side. Mid-range sideboards are very volatile. Like, there are 0 cards that I'd say should be in your side. It's as simple as that. And then you just beat... the fuck's happening here? And then you just beat... and then just build to beat the meta, right? You look at the meta, you see a lot of creature decks, and you say, okay, it's a lot of aggro. It's a lot of aggro. So maybe I can play some Scavenging Gooses, just to have a little hedge against aggro. Or Kitchen Finks. Oh. Kitchen Finks is actually a decent card against aggro, not gonna lie. What else? And it's like, okay, I can't beat Uro. I can't beat Uro. So I have to play Boil. That's also a reasonable conclusion. What Boil's at? Maybe 3, maybe 2, I don't know. Numbers wise, again, it depends on what you want to do. Let's put 2 for now. What else do you have to beat that you aren't really beating? Hammer Time? Okay. Let's play Oof. Let's play a couple of Oof. In the sideboard. Turns off Hammer. Well, not really, right? I wouldn't play Stony Silence in Burn against Hammer. This kind of seems loose. Like, you have a lot of creatures, so if you want to say, I want to include some more removal. This is where I'm gonna surprise you again. People are gonna say that I'm wrong here, but believe in what you must. The best answer against Uro is... okay, first of all, like, being real, I'm gonna say, you can play Leyline of the Void here, because if you're playing 4 Seasoned Pyromancer and 4 Magmatic Channeler, you can easily discard extra copies of Leyline. So yeah, I'd play Leyline here and just shit on a lot of things. That's my answer to Uro. What else do you need to beat? Then all the insane combo. Is there a card that beats these trickery decks that's colorless? I remember looking at a bunch. I guess it's just Damp Sphere, right? Right, Damp. Alright, this looks cool. Cool. Okay. Again, another meta call, which I've seen floating around. It's pretty cool. Liliana's Triumph. It deals with the big boys, with the Eldrazi. So I think you can include a couple. What else are you aiming to beat? What else are you aiming to beat? Is there anything else that this deck should be aiming to beat? Okay, so against Uro, you play Boil and Leyline. I guess Shadow seems like a strong deck, so you can include like 2 Bloodchief Stirs here to maybe kill them. Then I'd include a 3rd Boil, to be honest, and a 3rd Damping Sphere. What the Jund players usually play? Ashiok's Garbage. Oh, land destruction. Ooh, that's actually true. That's actually true. Just discard the Trickery. Well, yeah, but not the Trickery. You need to discard the Cascade, but then they just have like 10 more. So it's hard. It's hard to beat them on discard alone. I think this is a decent sideboard for right now. Boil and Leyline beat Uro. Bloodchief's Thirst and Liliana's Triumph help beating Shadow and other aggro. Damping Sphere beats Combo. Scavenging Goose beats aggro. Cleansing Wildfire takes care of some really annoying lands. Bloodchief Thirst also kills Renin 6, which is pretty cool. So this is the Jund list I'd play right now. And say what you will, I kind of like it. I honestly kind of like it. It feels solid. It feels like something that preys on the current meta, is fast. I think that people don't really value the strength of a fast deck. It's really fucking good. The reason that garbage like where's Burn? The reason that garbage like this places well is, well, first of all, the pilot's really good. I'm not discrediting the pilot, but like this deck list's really fucking bad. You're playing Wear and Tear, Firewalker, Bauble. You're playing Bauble in your Eidolon deck, dude. That's so bad. But the reason this wins games is because the deck goes fast. And my score against UrOmnath Uro is like 9-1, simply because they're dirtling around with their fetches and their Renin 6, and I just beat them because I'm consistent and my cards deal damage and they're fast. So this Jund version being fast, if you can curve out, like you have 7 3-drops and 8 2-drops, so I think it's reliable enough that you're going to be curving them out. And you have plenty of answers to keep the board state in your favor, and then you just keep that superior board state and go ham. I like this version. I would play it. If I had the cards, I'd go for a run with this one. But sadly, I don't have the cards. Maybe not sadly. I can imagine myself playing this and getting smashed. And for the sole reason of me not being used to playing mid-range. Alright, boys, it's time to play some Magic. I'll be right back. And we're gonna play some Zoo. Alright. Alright, so let's play some magic. Let's play some magic. Where is my screen? Here it is. Alright, now for my magic games. I want to play Naya Landfall. I'm just debating on the last land to play. I have a lot of green to want the Stomping Ground. Or do I just play 19 lands? I don't know, I really don't love 19 lands. Like, I'm gonna play an additional Stomping Ground. Yeah, okay, this seems good. This is the list I'm playing today. Sideboard. Let me go over it. Let me go over it card by card. So, Destructive Revelry seems quite strong right now. Graveyard Hate still playing Surgical. It's just the better aggro card, in my honest opinion. The better aggro hate, better Graveyard Hate for aggro. Then Cleansing Wildfire seems kind of nice, because if the game does go a bit longer, I think you still want to beat Field of the Dead. And then Path and Deafening Silence. Path for those big creatures you can't deal with, and Deafening Silence to beat the trickery decks, basically. Alright, this is about it. Let's... You know the Where Bananas Beam template with the tree monkey? I really don't want to... I avoid speaking in the John Discord, because what's the point? Like, I saw this, as I said before, I saw this guy arguing there that Liliana should be cut. The guy just got pummeled by other people. Like, everyone was saying, no, Liliana's really good. Liliana's a threat, we shouldn't cut her. Like, whatever, dudes. And I don't even have the clout to say anything. Like, it would be easier for me to talk there if I had like results and experience with Jund. I don't. Whatever. Let's play some Zoo Landfall today. Gonna change the title of the stream. Zoo Landfall. Good. Alright. Let's queue into a league with Whackfall. Everything's where it should be. Alright, let's get it on. Should say I've still never played this list in a league. It's my first time. Hopefully it goes well and it isn't a traumatic experience. They do say your first time should be a good experience. Alright. I should kinda change the deck list in Stream Decker. I'm kinda lazy. Kinda lazy to do that. Screw it. We kinda scooped to Belcher, but I'm not worried about Belcher right now. That's a crappy land, a crappy hand. I don't have a turn 1 play. I don't have a turn 1 play. Ooh. This is even crappier. I guess I'm mulling to 5. Guess I gotta keep this. But I don't love it. This is cool if we top deck a whacker. We're in whacking mode. Yeah, but that first hand is the reason I don't play that guide in burn. It's not a good 1-drop for burn. So you really can't afford it. One's playing blue. He's probably a degenerate. God fucking damn it. Is Explosives a good card to be main decking right now? It's actually kinda gas. I'm gonna fetch a Stomping Ground here. Attack for 4. The Guide-Beast really good in mono red. Hard maybe. Is it? I don't know. I don't know if I like it, to be honest. It feels okay. Here's the thing. I guess it can be fun. And here's my issue with. Do I want to play this? Nah. Yeah, I can't disagree that it's fun because, you know, if you like it, if anyone likes it, sure, it's fun. But it seems like it decreases what do I want to say here? I know I want to say words. Makes Shard Volley and Blaze pretty good. Oh yeah, but Shard Volley is still not good, even then. I was gonna say something. What? Oh, opponent stuck on 1 land? That's cute. The attack here. Do I want to play this? Yes, I do. I know I'm making a top deck whacker not good. Sure, whatever, dude. I know that I was making a top deck whacker not good with that play, but having 6 power on the board is actually relevant. Still no second land, so opponents just... Alright. That's a throw if I've ever seen one. Opponent just conceded the match. Oh, so good. So good. Get fucked, opponent. See, this is the kind of opponent that... This is the kind of opponent that cries about Magic. He kept an unkeepable hand. He then proceeded to not find his land drop and conceded the match. And I guarantee you that player's saying that he was unlucky. I mean, that was just a free win. I kind of feel like... I feel dirty counting that, to be honest. But it is a win. It is what it is. Oh, now that's a start. That's a start, boys. Up against Yorion pile. Okay, so let's do some math. This attacks for 4, this attacks for 3. Pretty simple math, right? Looks simple enough. Alright, opponent. Do your thing. Is this a bird? Nope. Okay, so I know what my opponent's playing. Hopefully we get to a strong position before they can do anything too real. I don't care. To be attacking here. For 6. That's a big hit. And we have a really strong hit coming next. So we're fine. What do I want on my next turn? Atarka's command would be really strong. Atarka's command would just be lethal pretty much. Does this ramp? No, it just fixes. Okay. This is probably a... Okay, buddy. Okay. Oh no, that's not okay. It's actually not okay. Okay, cool. This can go face, this can kill the Ren in 6. Ren 6 is actually relevant here against us. Wow. Makes me feel sad. That's good for us. I guess they could still have the triumph. Oh, muy bueno. Guess I play this. Double whacker. My opponent probably has a lethal spell. But I don't care. Just going face here. Feel kinda dirty playing this, but whatever. He definitely has a kill spell. We're still in a very strong position. Now, we lose to Siege Rhino. We lose to Siege Rhino, which is funny. Not really. If we draw Bolt, we don't lose it. Here's the Jund. We've built Jund. I'll tweet out the deck list that we came to. Now playing some Zoo. Oh no, wait, I need to side. I need to sideboard. How do I sideboard? Quick, I need to sideboard. Alright. We built Jund, but I'm not playing Jund. I don't own the cards, and I was just doing a little thought experiment. I'll tweet out the list, but I'll show it on screen for like a little bit. Yeah. This is the Jund list. Jesus fucking Christ. Why is this so hard? Why are my cards not piling up properly? Jesus Christ. Okay, so the side is a little bit loose. Yeah, no Valky. I wanted a vanilla Jund list. It's just K command down here. I wanted a vanilla Jund list. We ended up cutting the... Not even Pioneer plays Siege Rhino. That's true. This hand's really strong. And hard to keep on one land. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, okay, here's my reasoning on no Bloodbraid Elf. I'm cutting Liliana because Liliana right now is dog shit. And then Bloodbraid Elf has a lot of bad hits. Like hitting Seasoned Pyromancer isn't great. If you're holding up answers, hitting any of your answers in like removal or discard can be really awkward. So I also cut BBE, lowered the curve a little bit. The deck's now slightly more aggressive with Seasoned Pyromancer and Bone Crusher Giant, as well as Channeler and Tarmogoyf. But I'd honestly play this. If I had the cards, I'd play this list. I don't think... Yeah, I don't... The side can look a little bit loose because sides take some time to adjust. Oh, this hand's gone from good to meh. Alright, so I gotta fetch like this to get Nacatl. Hopefully next turn I could go Brushfire Elemental. This is removal. Yeah, okay, sure. Hey, please draw land. This is it, boys. We're gonna lose. No way I can come back from not hitting land here. I took a risk. This hand was really good. Oh, this hand was really decent. Now my plan is just for my opponent to dirtle with his 80 card deck. I guess it makes sense my opponent would play Uro. Can I beat Uro with my current board? Probably not. Yeah, okay. We'll concede here to save time. So I can side like a regular man. Getting the Bolt. Like, Bolt isn't amazing here, I think. Rev probably is not amazing. I guess I'll keep one. Yeah, this is where it shows. The amount of times I've seen you lose from keeping a one lander in this stream is beyond counting. Okay, should I get a counter for that? That's what I interpret from that statement. You should get a one lander counter. Oh, yeah, 4 lands. Too much. Too much. Now this hand's a keep. This hand's a big old keep. Bottoming the mountain seems correct. As I can go Foundry, Steppe Lynx. So we go Foundry, Steppe Lynx, play a land, crack for green, play Tree Emissary, play Wild Nacatl. But they're so juicy sometimes. Did you see that hand? Did you see that hand? Like, there's a 60 something, 70%. Like, fair play to you and your... No, it's mathematically correct. It's mathematically correct, but... yeah, this deck can't... Like, this deck isn't Burn, where I can survive on one land for like 2 or 3 turns, if needed. So that was definitely a mistake for me. I couldn't even play my 2/1 drops. Yeah, so that was really loose. Can I get a... Okay, that's not bad. There's no strategical advantage of doing this now. My opponent's tapped out, so just saving some time here. Okay, so it's good. We can kick that Bushwhacker if we draw another 1-drop. That's a Lightning Helix. I want to say that's fine. Oh, that's a really good draw. It's honestly such a good draw. Just kick this. Okay, for how much are we attacking here? 9. Attacking for 14 here. That's really strong, not gonna lie. Alright. Oh, does he have a bolt? Okay. So I'll land and we win. Seriously. That's so lame. Why did my opponent find double Lightning Helix? It's really tilting. It's really fucking tilting. Well, on the bright side, if he finds Uro here... Okay. That's a problem. We need a land here, or we die. Wait, this has haste, right? We got him, boys. Can only block 1. Oh, that was close. I was not expecting that deck to be running UrOmnath. I guess that was just 4-color UrOmnath with Yorion. That deck plays like a slot machine. Mine? Or his? The 80-card deck that managed to find 2 Lightning Helix? Okay, so far so good. My only loss was to myself, and we got bonus points for tilting opponent number 1. Like this was a win in and of itself. You'll have to see your opponent just rage quitting. But I gotta say, this deck kinda slaps. Like this. Oh, this is good. Honest to God, I don't love Brushfire Elemental. It always seems like a bad draw. Double fetch means I lead on Steppe Lynx. Leading on Steppe Lynx. Okay, am I playing Nacatl now? And do I want a Temple Garden in this deck? Is there ever a world where I'm playing a Temple Garden here? Oh, this is interesting. This is quite interesting. Can shock, play Nacatl. What's the line here? Can shock, play Elemental. Say go. Next turn attack for a lot. Guess that's the play, right? Because now Nacatl is a lot of damage with a whacker from the top. If I draw land, I get to go nuts. I get to nut on my opponent. If I just Atarka's command into double land. Yeah. Elemental for landfall synergy and Nacatl for whacker synergy seems correct. Why am I cold again, chat? Oh, that's so bad for me. Yeah, that's really bad. That is an Atarka's command. Oh, and this can't be blocked. It's really good. So I think I attack here. Big question. Do I want to play this Nacatl or do I want to save it for a surge? Probably not, right? Probably blocks here. Yeah. Am I playing? Ooh, that's a punt. I can play Nacatl and Atarka's command now. That's fine, I guess. That's fine. It's absolutely not fine, chat. Can he please not find anything too good? Double Atarka's command is also kinda lethal. Please land. So close. So am I doing this? Or this? I guess I'm doing this. Kinda wanna find a fetch so I can attack like a truck. Or I want my opponent to just die to random shit. Clothis is a problem. Clothis is most definitely a problem. And this kinda sucks. So if I attack like this, my opponent just has way too many good blocks. Okay, so this is gonna be tricky. He has bolts, oh no. I guess we take it. Okay, he's gonna drain now, meaning we can just... We can Skullcrack here. Yeah, we can Skullcrack here. Garden Hope to top burn at this point. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Also high. I think it's Bolt. I kind of have 2 turns to do it. Unless my opponent absolutely blows me here. Okay, that's a big punt. He should take away my green, to be honest. Am I taking this? I guess not. The reason I'm not taking that is because 4 is pretty much the biggest hit I can tank. Still not enough. Come on, Lightning Bolt. Just need you. Just once. Come on, Lightning Bolt. Come on. Come on, Lightning Bolt. It's gonna skip turn. I'm assuming we're dead. We are running 4 Lightning Bolt. Like Atarka's command's also lethal, so we have 6 draws that win us the game. 6 draws that win us the game. Could potentially do it. Might also just be dead to board. Oh, I'm just dead to board. Yeah, I'm just dead to the board. Oh, that's so sad. It's exactly lethal. Oh, we weren't getting anywhere anytime soon, so that's fine. Alright, so what's the plan? What is the plan? I think I prefer Path over Bolt, as ironic as that might sound. The reach is nice, but I think I need an answer to their bigger creatures. Namely, killing Clothes seems important. Okay, I'm as per requested, I'm gonna move those hands. This does not cast my Steppe Lynx. And Wayward Guide-Beast's way too awkward here. What am I mulling now? Definitely mulling a land. Okay, this seems correct. I guess I'm fetching a basic here. Fetching a basic here seems fine. Next turn's gonna be a big hit. Unless he bolts me. It's not a bolt. Arbor Elf. Ugh. It's kinda lame. Okay, okay. Do I play the Hellhound and say go? Do I play the Hellhound and say go? My opponent has a turn 2. If my opponent has a turn 2 Blood Moon, I'm not screwed with my hand. He has a turn 2 Clothes, I'm not screwed with my hand. Okay, so I am playing this. Here's my reasoning. If he has a moon... Oh, that's about the same. Okay, so he really has a drop that he wants to have. That he wants to drop, effectively. And now we can play for next turn. He's gonna tap this. I'm assuming that's a Clothis. Did he mole? He kept 7, I think. Where's my opponent? Oh, that's dangerous. No, he's just retarded. Okay. I guess this still means Clothis or Blood Moon. Hopefully not a Seasoned Pyromancer. I actually can't save it. Okay, my opponent's demented as fuck. Such a big play to play Weather the Storm. Because that was a lot of gas. I kind of like this Wayward Guide-Beast, not gonna lie. But I can't play it right now. Sadly, but it still works. Yeah, that was a strong storm turn, but like my opponent's on 2 cards, and you cannot convince me that he kept a better play for next turn. Like, what's he doing now? If he has a good turn here, I guess that's a decent storm turn. This is not gonna beat me, by the way. That might. Well, that might actually beat me. Wow. So I might just screw it here. I am right. Okay, I know what I need. I need a land. A fetch land. A fetch land here would be really nice. Can just absolutely destroy him. Jesus fucking Christ, this man's made of Bone Crusher Giants. See, good card. Bone Crusher is a good card. Well, I guess this is like now or never in terms of things I can do. Ah, see, that's good. I don't have white, guys. Alright. I should have gotten white with one of my fetches. I was trying to be conservative. Even then, I don't think I'm winning. Yeah. Bone Crusher is good, guys. Bone Crusher is really good. Like, removal curving into itself as a threat is just way too powerful. I still think people are sleeping on it in mid-range. Like Ponza players have caught on. They play the full set now. Yeah, but it happens. It happens. It's also not a great matchup. Like they can fill the board pretty well. They can do things. Like they have a lot of removal. They fill the board pretty well. They have a decent clock. They have what's it called? Holy fucking shit! What's it called? What's it called when a creature? I got a 7 and 6 hours. So I gotta go to bed. Good luck. Thanks for hanging out, man. Have a nice night. We're on the play again. God bless. Oh, this hand's kind of bad. I'm gonna mull. This hand also bad, but I'm gonna keep. I guess with this hand, I get to have a strong opener. It kind of sucks against removal. Wild Nacatl is a really cool card. That could be a path. It's interesting. It's muy interesting. Okay, so I'm throwing if I top deck a whacker. But I think I need to establish Steppe Lynx ASAP. I'm going to attack here, see what he does. See if he wants to path me. Hey, a point of damage is a point of damage, right? Ah. That's fine, that plays well into me... into the Brushfire Elemental. So I'm fine. That's super fine. Yeah, that's a really nice curve, as they say. So I'm getting another green source. Kick this. This is not a great attack, but I guess it'll have to do. He actually blocks? Wow. He's gonna block, why wouldn't he block the brush? Oh, he can't block the Brushfire. Relevant. Oh, he has one of these. That kinda sucks. Guess a 2/2 is something. But boy oh boy, are we up against the wall? How much did I mull this game? I mulled to like 5. I feel like I mulled. This interaction is so annoying. I guess I can still keep going. It's something else. Let's go. That's a giver. That's a Leonin. Oh no, another Skycliff. I'm kinda dead, right? Okay. Come on. Come on, game. Give me a bolt. Guess I can still hold on for one turn. This is really gonna suck. Not in a fun way. Ooh, Thalia, that's fine. That's fine. I have enough. I guess I want to do this now because I'm dead if I don't top deck something here. Yeah, that's lethal. And here's pretty much the reason why I don't like to play the thing that I don't play. What don't I play? I'm really not down Brushfire Elemental, gotta be honest. Brushfire Elemental has felt way too mediocre. It's a nice way of using the Burning-Tree Emissary mana, but I'm not really sold on it, if I gotta be honest. I think I want better starts than that. I was saying, this is why I don't play Prowess. Because people just have removal, and then you're just dead in the water. Even though, sure, Prowess a better deck than Zoo. But even then, the argument's the same, right? It's not great to play against removal with these. Guess that's good. How am I even opening this? I guess Steppe Lynx is the way to go, because I can play Hellhound from Burning-Tree mana. I guess I can shock myself first, which is nice. Alright. Shock, Steppe Lynx, go. I was contemplating playing a burn league after this, but Jesus Christ, this is such a feels bad league that contemplation over. Okay, I guess this is fine. Now I play this. I lose that green mana, but that's fine. Next turn's really packed. Packed with peanuts. Oh, come on. So my opponent always have removal, and he didn't remove these, so he kinda has to have something. Double bolt is nice at least. It's nice. I gotta try it, right? Alright, we're kind of getting there. We're kind of getting double bolt in hands feels pretty nice. Okay, so maybe I want Helix instead of Brushfire. I think that's a consideration. Just because Helix has extra range and it's... Yeah, I think Helix is the way to go here. Sure, opponent. Sure. Okay, so am I bolting this? It dies to Thalia. I think I'm bolting face here. Because if I flip an Atarka's command, I get to win. Or a Destructive Revelry, that also works. And this attack he has to block. Bushwhacker is nice. Bushwhacker is really nice. Okay, I think I win here. I can bolt that. I can give it haste and +1/+1. Ooh, this is still not lethal. Ooh. Alright. That wasn't lethal, by the way. I guess we got there. I guess I like Destructive Revelry. I have no idea how to side with this deck, by the way. Everything just feels way too loose. Come on, come on. I wonder... I kind of want to win this game, not gonna lie. I'm 2-1. I'd love to go even at least at 2-3. 3-2. I was kind of excited for this deck. There was someone who placed with a similar list. Like, what were the differences? It didn't have this Bushwhacker, it had Goblin Guide, and it had Renin 6, which I don't think is great. I think it feels a bit too slow. This end's pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Can I... Starting on the draw is rough here, though. Please no Vial. Givers is also not great. Don't love that Giver doing things. I have the Destructive Revelry, which means I can kinda get by killing this Stoneforge. Or rather, not killing this Stoneforge. Actually, a pretty good draw. I guess I shouldn't have done that. That's a bit loose, but doesn't matter. Just attack, he can't trade, so he shouldn't really block. I'm not attacking with Guide-Beast because I don't want Guide-Beast to connect, if I'm gonna be honest. Can block here. That's not good because I guess I just menaced something with my dumb land. And he can block here, but that's really not great in terms of tempo. Okay, my opponent's thinking, would I change anything to my deck list besides Brushfire for Helix? I like the extra reach, to be honest. Like Ponza and game 1 of this matchup would have been 1 on reach. Okay, so just giving it protection, sure. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. Still covered for Thalia, even though it probably doesn't play Thalia here. Next turn I go all out. He has to tap this for Batterskull. I kill Batterskull. Still killing Batterskull here. Do I want the Landfall? Guess I do. Okay, so this does things. Alright, opponent. I guess he doesn't block here. Could have a sword, which you can equip next turn and start doing things. Yeah, this is really nice because I can guarantee a land for next turn. Which means I get to keep path up for things. Leonin Arbiter. This is interesting. I can't path Arbiter. That's fine. That's fine. I have to remember that I can't fetch. It's kind of relevant. I mean, I can, but I don't want to fetch here. I want to play BT into Bushwhacker, attack. He shouldn't block, is my guess. Makes for some power blocks. BTE here. Surge this. Now he can trade. He has some decent trades to make here, but not anything too amazing, and he's still losing a board. I guess he does have something there. It's mostly fine. This can't give protection. I guess he can trade here. Yeah, I guess that's better. Still get the landfall, which is nice. I have double landfall for next turn, meaning he needs something really good. Or like a Thalia. A Thalia would be really strong. Or Skyclave. Archon, that's fine. He has to respect it. Oh no, I'm retarded. Archon has text. I think that's GG. I think that's GG. Opponent's actually throwing Stoneforge in front of it. It's insane. It's actually insane. I guess I could have Atarka's command and just beat him. That's a strong block from my opponent. That's a respectful block, which you don't see a lot these days. I have any more basics. My opponent's also out of gas, which is really decent for me. Okay. Oh, if I had red last turn, I'd be having a really good attack here. Well, maybe not. He would have. Well, maybe yeah, because he can't really. Oh. Okay, his double land destruction thing was pretty strong. Again, I need the reach. This deck really needs the reach, so definitely play some more reach. A Bushwhacker. So okay, so I can kick this, which is really good for me. Because he kind of has to block. He chooses not to trade, which is a good choice. He's now on 2, meaning not looking all that healthy. That's fine. That's fine. I need a bolt or a haste creature, which I took out. Come on, lightning bolt. Just once. Pretend I'm playing burn. Come on, deck. Pretend you're burn for once. Pretend you're a good deck. Come on. Come on. You know you're gonna be a bolt. He has nothing, so I'm not worried here about some upkeep trick. Ah. I guess that would have been a reason for me to do a thing. Oh. I kinda just threw. God damn it. This is because I'm not used to playing against taxes. I'm not used to having to fetch multiple shocklands either. Oh. Oh, cool, we win. We basically win here. Cool. So we didn't get punished for our punt. Which was nice. Quite nice. Okay, so we got even. We gotta go even. We can pay for Thalia here. Guessing my opponent has an upkeep stop, which he keeps forgetting. Because it is relevant with Vile, I'd say. Okay, playing a land just so I don't get just 3. Doesn't matter as long as it deals 3. All right. We at least got to go even, which is honestly pretty much all I could ask for when playing a deck that I'm not comfortable with. But I've been meaning to try out this zoo list, and I think I'd change a couple of things, but even then, I don't think it's particularly strong. I think Destructive Revelry is really good, so I don't think that I would ever cut that. I think Destructive Revelry is really good. I wish I had one in burn. Surgical for Uro seems like a pretty important deal. Well, this was a... This hand kinda gas, not gonna lie. This was an all-play league. Which is kind of funny. Whenever I play burn, I go always on the draw. Alright. Getting a Stomping Ground, playing the Wild Nacatl. Let's see how this... Oh, that's very aggressive. It's very aggressive. Kinda like the Hellhound, not gonna lie. I think I am bolting the bird here. Yeah, I gotta bolt the bird here. Sorry, Hellhound. Your 4 mana, 4 power is gonna go to waste. Yes, force. He actually forced my bolt. Wow, that's dedication. That's dedication. Does he have Uro here? If he has Hero here, it's pretty funny actually. If I find a fetch, I'm in a good place. Oh no, opponent. I'm assuming that's a spell queller. I'm assuming that's a spell queller. So assuming that that's a spell queller, I think I kick this and say go. Did I get it right? I did. Cool. Alright. Not kicked, sadly. But still. I don't think we mind too much. We're hitting for 7 here. Our next turn is strong. We find a spell. Okay, that's just a blocker. That's a big blocker. I think we outsize him. Nacatl never hits, right? It's just getting bricked. But I have exactly 5. That's tilting. I think we still go in with the whole school. He has to block there. He blocks Nacatl. He takes 5. He's at 1, so he can't fetch. We have bolts. We have a bigger board. Alright. So that deck absolutely plays Uro. I'm really not big on Elemental, to be honest. I think it's too weak. Like, not too weak, I think it's too awkward. I'd much rather be playing some Reach. I don't know, I'm not really feeling this deck, so sorry for the lower energy stream. The idea is neat, but I don't know. Just for some reason, I hate losing to removal. This hand's kinda gas. I kinda want surgical. My opponent mulled to 5. Okay, so I'm on the landfall plan here, I think. My opponent mulling to 5 kinda tells me he's looking for Uro. If I can punish that, it's a good draw. If I can punish that Uro. I'm assuming this is Uro. I'm assuming this is Uro. Hopefully. I kind of want this to be Uro, to be honest. Him having no open mana into my turn would be a blessing. Oh, it's gonna be Tarmogoyf. So yeah, Spell Queller. So what's my turn looking like here? What is my turn looking like? I guess this and maybe post-combat Guide-Beast. I don't think he tries to quell this. I did play the land to play around it. Oh no, I should have fetched there. That was dumb of me. That's 2 damage that I could have gotten off. Yeah, that was pretty dumb of me. I'm used to having to play chicken with Swift Spear. Like with Swift Spear, I'm comfortable with letting Swift Spear not get buffed before her attack, because a lot of times you just wanna play chicken, and with burn that's fine. You have tons of reach here. I think it's a mistake. I think you want to be hitting with the creature real hard. Oh, come on, opponent. What are you thinking about? Do you think he has removal for this? Like, is he considering pathing? I really don't know. Maybe he's... no, this list was built already. Like, this is a list I built when Zendikar came out. Basically using all Steppe Lynx like creatures and Brushfire Elemental. I'm not in love, I've been saying this all stream, but I'm not in love with Brushfire Elemental. I think it's a weak card here, even though it looks insane with haste and pseudo evasion and the correct mana to cast off of Burning-Tree Emissary. It has been feeling kind of lackluster this league, so I think I'd like extra reach here in the form of Helix. But before stream I was building some Jund, because I think that people are kind of stuck to the idea that some Jund cards absolutely need to be there, and I don't think that's true. And I'll post this in places after the stream. I think this Jund list kind of hits every relevant matchup in the current meta. Or rather, let me rephrase that. This is a Jund list that I would play. I'm not really a big fan of Jund. Not really a big fan of mid-range. My opponent just decided to quit on me. Doing a quick lag check. Okay, no opponent. Everything seems fine. My opponent just... maybe he's dual queuing. I don't know. No, because the MTG bot warns me if my opponent's dual queuing. I don't know. I just don't know. But oh, finally got priority. Lily has bonus sexy points, so yeah, you know, I said exactly those words when I was building. I said, well, guys, I know Liliana's hot, but oh, that's just nasty. I guess it's good, right? But you can still think about her. Just put the cards in a binder, and I think you'll be happier. The fairy here is fine. Like, the card that I don't want to be playing against is Spell Queller from the other side. He keeps leaving Spell Queller mana up. Ah, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Yeah, that's a Spell Queller. That's actually fine. That's actually fine. I think my opponent punted here. I get a free attack here, basically. He can't block. That's 6 damage going through. Now Teferi is a problem. Goyf is also a problem. Not anymore. Can I game the system? He kinda has to block here. Which sucks for him. Did we lose game 2? Is this game 3? Wait, my stream tells me that. No, this is game 2, right? Yeah, this is game 2. Cool. It's actually factually blocking. Okay. Pretty big no-brainer here. If he has path, he has path. Yeah, we cast this. Oh, that's cute. Really? Looks super loose. If I draw a fetch land... Yep. Okay. I might have come around to playing Renin 6 in this deck. Like a Renin 6 here, just looping fetch lands sounds really strong. I also think that this is the time I attack with everything. Because he has to block both of these. I guess he can just block one. I guess now is not the time to attack with everything. Yes, now is not the time to attack with everything. Oh, god damn it, my opponent's so slow. He might be doing something else. Alright. Moment of truth, because if I attack with everything, I think it just cleanly blocks here, chumps here. I think his best block is he chumps here for no blowouts, and chumps here. I hit him for 4. If I just attack with these two, kinda has to double block. I think I prefer this. If he doesn't block, he dies. Can surgical something and kill Goef on the block. No, I mean, it only goes to 3, right? So I have to basically do this. Pump these to 4. Is it because of your screen or is something too small on my end? Something's too small, I apologize and we'll try to fix it. Okay, that's good. Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. Tarmogoyf was a 3-4 and that line wouldn't have gotten me anywhere. I think he has a spell queller. Do I risk checking for a spell queller? Nah. I think I take the trade. It is a collected company, sure. So he's grasping at straws, basically. Wow, that's a hit. That's a hit. Jesus. Yeah, sure, but ooh. I can't do it here. Yeah, I still can't do it here. Holy ravioli, that's a hit. Oh, these didn't trade, okay. So a fetch land is good here. But even then, not great. A bolt is perfect. Can respect the fetch land. Archon has text, that's relevant. So I guess I'm just top decking for a bolt. Don't think I care about this. Like if he finds Uro, I can kill it. If he finds... Yeah, that's annoying. But fine, I'm playing for a bolt here. That's fine. Okay, that's a weird attack. Because... does he want to jump with Hierarch? I guess he can just crack back and kill me. I'm gonna go very low here. Alright, boys, we're looking for Lightning Bolt or Atarka's Command. Oh, he was even kind enough to tell me he didn't have a spell queller. Come on, Lightning Bolt. That ain't it. Alright. Wait. No, I didn't have enough power. Alright. I guess I take the same list and just hoping on the play is something. Yeah, this hand's really good. That's really good. Although here, because I can't fetch for Steppe Lynx, I am playing Wild Nacatl first. That's a path, god damn it. I know you have a path, opponent. You wouldn't keep a 7 without a turn 1 play, I think. Maybe I'm underestimating my opponent, but I'd love to shit on my opponents more often, because sometimes they do pretty dumb shit. But honest to God, I think that's a mistake. Like, you should always treat your opponent like they're a genius. So if they do something stupid, you usually come out on top. Like, plan for the worst, right? Even if my opponent's a fucking monkey, you plan for the worst. Alright, this is a pretty strong turn 2. I'm assuming I'm getting pathed here, yeah. Path of a Shock is decent. I gain 2 life, I guess. Okay, but his 2 mana plays should be mostly relevant. Unless it's Aether Gust. If he Aether Gusts here, I guess he can Aether Gust Burning-Tree Emissary and come out on top. Okay, that's really good for me. Can you please F-capped path into Uro? I'd be happy if you kept Uro here, honest to God. With an Atarka's command, I'd be even happier. It's almost definitely Uro. It's Archon. Such a non-card. Like, that's fine, I guess. Still dead to a fetch land. Here we go. Cool, we got the 4-1, that's pretty amazing. I do not think the deck was even remotely optimized. I think that where is it? I think that Brushfire Elemental is really awkward. Yeah, but there was never really a moment where I was wanting to go Brushfire, like Burning-Tree into Brushfire. Always felt lackluster. And from the side, I think maybe Cleansing Wildfire isn't really what I want. Then again, I don't know if I'm ever beating like Tron. But then again, Tron isn't really playing. I don't know. I definitely changed the list a bit. I'll work on it if people ever want to watch this again. I wasn't too convinced. I prefer spell aggro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, chat. I'm a simpleton. I don't like it when my damage gets killed. So yeah, it was still fun to 4-1 better than Burn. I usually 4-1 with Burn. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, it was a fun league. I don't know. I just don't find it as interesting. But sure, you might tell me I'm missing something. Like you can tell me that I'm a baboon at piloting this deck, and I would agree because I really don't know how to pilot it properly. I don't know. Burn's just my jam. Still not tired of Burn. When I get tired of Burn, maybe I'll look into other shit. But okay, so again, sorry for a lower energy today. I was really getting annoyed with like my creatures just randomly dying. And what did I play against even? We had the baby rage quits. Guess what? I just read their name. Raging Tilt Monster. Accurate. We then played against... What was our round 2? I know our round 3 loss was against Ponza, because Ponza is quite unbeatable. Then we beat Taxes, and now Bant Company. What was our round 2? Fuck, what was our round 2? I can't even remember. Can I watch a replay? What's... Oh, it was Yorion. UrOmnath. Okay, you can go now. Omnath Yorion. Okay. So it was... Here's what happened this league. Match 1. Can I still open the league? No, okay, but match 1, opponent rage quit because we were playing a red aggro and they were playing a... I think it was artifacts. Yeah, it was artifacts. So just consistency beating inconsistency. Same for game 2. Game 3, they were Ponza, a more consistent, more robust deck that actually well beat. We just beat them. Against Taxes, I don't know, there's something missing in Taxes. The fact that my shitty aggro beat Taxes should never happen really, so... I don't know. And then again, match 5, just consistency beating inconsistency. That's why... Uro players should stop being cute, to be honest. They should just play control. Why are they playing shitty creature decks or shitty Yorion decks? Doesn't make sense. They're just plain worse. And because control is doing shitty things, decks like Trickery get to exist. I still haven't faced Trickery. I don't know what's that about. People say it's super popular in leagues. I still haven't faced it. I kind of want to face it to see how strong it is, but I still haven't faced it. Well, either way, thank you very much for watching. If you like the content, please follow me on the various media that I use. Leave any comments in the if you're watching the VOD, telling me things good or bad. I'll take all comments, and see you next time.